Hey guys, Manitove here with you today, and what we're going to be doing is two Guild Wars. One is Outlaw Rejects, the other one will be Dark Unity. I would like to thank the new lighting in my studio to my family who kindly provided me with a ring light for Father's Day. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop on and take a look and see what happened. Now we're going to be starting off with Outlaw Rejects. The first defense is a Molong, Jean, and Harmonia. Second defense is a Kamoon, Watercat, and Ludo. So for the first match, I went ahead and just tried to make it very simple on myself. Took Jumeirah, gonna snipe out the Jean. That way I don't have to worry about the taunt. But it didn't work out the way I anticipated because Molong derped and went ahead and did the strip. I do provide will for my Covenant, just so I can typically avoid the first turn defense break or whatever nonsense may happen. But Molong went and did Molong things, so this match took a little bit longer than what I had expected it to. But normally what I would do is snipe out the Molong so I don't have to deal with the provokes. Eliminate some of the healing that John does, and I don't have to worry about the stuns. Once Molong would typically Reckless Assault, he does 70% of the damage, or 70% of damage to the unit that he's attacking in their health. So attacking my Covenant wouldn't have provided much recoil damage because he takes the equal amount of HP as loss when he attacks. But yeah, my Covenant is not very tanky. It is on an attack crit damage attack build. But as you see, just have to work through the turn cycling, and I'm able to get off another ignore defense, and the Jean's gone. Typically, this defense is, or not defense, this offense of mine was one of my favorite for a while, but it's really fallen out of my usage. This next defense, I don't know what was going on, so I just figured I'd bring my Water Cat and my new Fire Pony for the AoE defense. And if for some reason their cat was faster than mine, Fire Pony does take half damage from water units. That was pretty much the thinking that went into this match. I believe the cat's name is Mina. By now you all know the Water Cat's an amazing unit. It's RTA ready. It's Guild Wars, Guild Siege ready. It's even used in each arena offenses when you have a fire heavy defense. So it's a great unit. And we all know about Fran. Now, the second match is a Kamoon, Odin, Bastet, pretty meta defense. So this time I took in Tessarion, Leo, and Vanessa. This way, all the units are forced to target the Leo, minus the Bastet, which is not a high damage threat. So my biggest concern is right there, the defense break being landed on my Tessarion. But once you're able to take down the Odin, not really much of a big damage threat on that side. Some people do build the Kamoon on speed crit damage, speed crit damage attack, or HP. I've been running into a lot more Despair ones lately. I don't know what the issue with that is. I guess some big streamer must have done it, and now everyone's doing it. But the purpose of this defense, once again, or this offense, is to have them attack my Leo as much as possible, just to get Torrent up. Torrent's on a 2-turn cooldown, so every other turn I'm able to Torrent. And as long as he doesn't land, the Kamoon doesn't land the heal block, I'm able to heal because my Leo is on Vampire. This one sort of stalls out, and I think I end up having to go ahead and Torrent onto the Kamoon because the shield is on Bastet. And even on a fire unit, 38k ignore defense was good enough to kill. And so that allows me to set up the torrent and take out the Bastet. Now this one, I decided I was just going to play around and have a little fun. They've got Dark Monkey, Miho, and Jean on defense, so I brought my Fire Pony for the AoE defense break. My pony does have 55% accuracy, so only got one defense break. I brought Christina because, as we know, Christina is a joke. It's not a very good unit. But I was hoping for the AoE defense break so I could... I figured I was going to be turn 2ing this a lot, so I was hoping for a cleave. As you saw, I hit the Dark Monkey for over 44k, so it wasn't too bad. Christina is not an overly great unit. It's not. It does have its niche uses. I figured there'd be procs from the Jean. I assumed the Dark Monkey was also on Violent. But it just seemed like a fun defense that I could play around with, so I decided to bring the Christina. Not to mention the multi-shots. Even though mine does have a high crit rate, with multi-hits, I figured at least one of them would glance and be able to kill the Miho. But there's something you don't see every day. Christina in action. This one is a Feng Yang, Perna, and Wusa on defense, so I brought Fran, Leica, and Arena. Arena is simply here to tank the Feng Yang. Attack buff from Fran on my Leica, so it shouldn't take too long to kill the Perna, go through both of its lives. Barring any insane procs, I don't think the Perna is going to be able to kill my Fran. That's why I brought that. My Fran is a speed HP defense. I think plus 132 speed. Not overly fast, but just good enough for Guild Wars. Ever since the buff to Leica on his first skill, where he leeches life on the first skill, even on Revenge, the sustainability of Leica in Guild Wars and Siege is a lot better. Still not where I would like it to be. One of my big gripes is they said that the Revenge stun at a 50% chance was too much for a unit. It was too overpowered. That's why they nerfed them. But then, like you saw the last match with the Miho, which has got a first skill stun and an automatic Revenge if you crit. Essentially the same mechanic, but good enough for an LD 3-star, not good enough for a 5-star unit. Doesn't make much sense to me, so that's my biggest gripe. My Guild Wars Leica is still on Vampire because I haven't made any changes since that, but I have messed around with them in RTA a bit. My Leica for that is in RTA is on Vio. He's on Vio, and that is just purely for the surprise element, because there's not too many Vio Leicas out there. Not saying that a lot of people haven't done it, just saying my experience is if you do run into a Leica, especially in RTA, it's going to be the Vampire variant. So I figured between the Revenge proc and the Violent proc that it might be enough sustain to get away with not doing Vampire. Although I have run into instances where I wish it was on Vampire in RTA just because of the Justice multiplier when it gets later into a match and how much he could full heal himself, and then with his passive requiring essentially 4 hits to kill him. This was not really one of those overly thought out matches. I mean, it was pretty easy to color match and tank out. Like I said, all you had, the biggest threat was the Perna. Arena is going to eat the Feng Yang's damage all day long, even with the defensive leader skill. They didn't have defense buff, so I didn't have to worry about a 75% increase to Feng Yang's defense possibly popping my Rena's shield. My Rena is sitting at 40k HP before towers and flags, so roughly over 50k, 52k, something like that total. So that shield is not going anywhere. And then this Feng Yang is on a violent build, but does not have destroy, so there's no depreciation over time of Rina's health. At this point, I just gotta play it right and make sure I don't overly attack when the Wind Panda has buff, the counter buff. Because he can land defense break, and then because neutral element with the Light Fairy would mean he would switch targets. But Fran does have 2 heals. Like you see right there, I just healed my Leica instead of attacking, and that was purposeful just so I didn't throw extra attack bar at Feng Yang and I didn't get a counter. But pretty easy. Now this one was Jean, Leica, and Triana on defense, so I brought Lauren, Chow, and Eladriel. Now Eladriel is a newer unit for me, so I've been trying to work him into everything just because I want to play with my new toy. I brought Lauren because Lauren is OP. I brought Chow because I finally maxed Devilmond him. So I figured between Lauren landing the consistent defense breaks and the slows, that would allow Chow, who is on a speed crit damage HP build, to do a decent amount of damage, because I did not go for the attack variant. The other nice thing about Lauren, which you're seeing play out right here, is the skill 2 does have a heal block, but this Leica is apparently running at least 45k resistance, or 45% resistance, in addition to the Jean's resistance lead, so it managed to avoid the block heal for most of the match. Block heal and attack break are the bane of most Dragonites, because of even on a Ragdoll and stuff, you see a lot of vampire variants, all the torrent ones. I remember back in the day when Chow was a torrent variant. I don't know why they decided to switch him over to a Justice Dragonite, but originally Chow was a torrent Dragonite. Sort of wish he was still the same way because I would have preferred that, but they gave him the Justice, and I just don't know if it's because I'm building them a little bit differently than I build Leica, or the multipliers are a little bit different on Chow, but the damage just isn't the same. So we'll go ahead and on to the next round. And Dark Unity, we have a Lauren, Bastet, and Perna, all very shiny on defense. So I brought Joltan, Leica, and the Wind Demon. Now my hope was that Lauren would strip and defense break my Joltan, so Perna would attack that. That didn't happen, but that's why I made my Wind Demon so tanky. Mine is on a speed HP build, to even take an attack buffed Perna's hit and not die. I figured the Joltan would entertain the Lauren, so I wouldn't have to worry about defense break on the Leica. And then Leica to take out the Perna, which virtually eliminates the only threat on that side, and then I work my way down the line. Joltan also does provide a defense break, so I didn't need to bring attack buff with me. This next one, I will advise that it cuts out after I kill the Molong. It will show that I won. The purpose for this offense was I wanted to bring 2 wind units, so the Molong would target my Water Demon, would do 70% of his life, and then I could Merciless Strike and just kill the Molong, and I don't have to worry about unwanted harmony. My Water Demon is on a Rage Nemesis build, so I figured it would be able to cut in between losing 70% of its life. The purpose for bringing the 2 wind units was to focus that Molong onto my Water Demon, and spread the damage around from the Harmonia. We all know Ratesh is a proc. There we go. We have proc fiend. So it ended up repeating the same cycle. I would just get Merciless up, kill the Jean, and then killed the Harmonia. This one is a Molong, Raccoony, and Skogul on defense. So I brought Lauren, Ariel, and Leica. All three of these units are relatively either tanky or they got sustained. Like Leica it requires 4 hits to kill him. So Skogul was not going to be. Sorry. Leica wasn't going to be one shot. My Ariel's got almost 40k HP. There's 3 units up, so it wasn't going to die. And then Lauren, I just was going to use to attack bar manipulate. Pretty easy win. The only thing that could have gone wrong is multiple procs from the Molong, but fortunately for me that did not happen. Now they have a Feng Yang on defense along with the Leica and a Water Paladin, so I just went ahead and brought a cheese comp in, Bulwark, Molong, and the Wind Paladin. And that was purely because I know my Wind Paladin is going to be able to tank this Leica all day long. If I do land a stun with the Wind Paladin, it's going to proc the Water Paladin or even Molong into 2 buffs, and every time a unit on their side gets a buff, Bulwark gets a stack. Forbidden Golder, misused right there, so don't repeat that. You always want to take the shield off first. But Forbidden Golder, Bulwark's skill 3 will ignore Leica's passive because it is a 50% reduction in life, not 50% damage. So either way I wanted to target that, I was still going to gain a lot of life from Bulwark's skill 3, which meant my sustainability for my Wind Paladin was even going to go up even more, even though Leica can ignore shields. It only ignores on the second skill, not the first skill. So 1 Justice, and then turn cycling, I would have the skill 3 up on Bulwark to re-heal, plus the Wind Paladin's ability to self-heal. Once again, I went with a Wind Demon, Leica, and Lauren. Because they had a Perna on defense and a Tyrannies, both are resers or self-resers, so multiple variations of res. So bring a Wind Demon, no one can res. Lauren provides defense break and heal block and slow. Really wasn't much of a match, especially because there was 2 wind units on the defense, which meant Leica was pretty much going to own this from the get-go. I didn't get 1 proc, which allowed the Skogul to move, but still not much of an issue. This time I brought in a Leo, Vanessa, Veligul into a Kamoon, Bastet, Odin comp. Didn't work out exactly as I anticipated it because this person was not running Shield Will on their Odin, they just had Will. So it did not initially reach the 5 stacks to allow the first turn snipe of my wind unit. But the reason why I brought Veligul was to make sure that if Bastet did land defense break, it could be easily removed. Turned out to be not much of a match because of the lack of shield on the Odin. If you're not going to run shield and will on your Odin, don't put it on your defense. Really limits the effectiveness. Makes it much easier to beat. I like the comp. I mean, it's very meta. Everyone likes it. I would kill for an Odin myself. Just make sure you got the right runes on it. And I mean, that might have just been an oversight, or Maybe they're trying for something above my pay grade that I don't recognize yet. And after that, it becomes just a waiting game, and none of my other units are in any danger of dying. Uh, yeah. So, I mean, that pretty much concludes our video. I mean, if you guys saw anything you liked or got any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to the channel and the video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Have a great day.